mental health may depend on creatures in the gut. Even the New York Times was admitting major studies, massive cancer linked to not having good probiotics in the gut. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and plug right now, because I want to get into genetically engineered babies after the break. We have a new probiotic, 7 years in the making by Dr. Group. I kept going to him and saying, which of these companies should I use? You know, there's hundreds of great probiotics. And he said, I'm waiting with these top firms to get the very best strains and put out the best. So I waited. He's brought it out for us. Probiotic, biome defense, 50 billion live and active cultures. Dr. Group, talk about this. It's available at InfoWarsLife.com. At the factory, it's made in the cold. It's kept in a big refrigeration system here. It's shipped to you with an ice pack. Now, if it gets warm, it still keeps a lot of its activeness, but you want to keep it cool for maximum effect. Put it in your refrigerator. Take it daily. We're showing people video on PrisonPlanet.tv and folks watching the live streams of our cold room. And this is, again, the Rolls Royce at a cost almost half of what leading competitors are for something of this quality. Describe why this is so special.
The reason why it took me so long to develop this product is because I wanted to really get a lot of research done on what are the best strains to put in the body. Once I found that, I started contacting the probiotic culturing companies. There's about 4 big companies, and those are the companies that every single probiotic supplement on the market uses to culture them. So when I went to these companies originally and I said, how do you make these probiotics? I want a vegetarian, vegan-based probiotic. I want non-GMO. I don't want any of these toxic fillers and excipients, because most of the capsules, all these probiotics you see in the grocery store or the vitamin shops or anything, there's only probably 10 or 15 milligrams, and these capsules hold 750 milligrams. Most of them only contain about 15 or 20 milligrams of the actual probiotic itself. The other part of the capsule is nothing but filler. And so when I contacted all these companies and asked them, well, what are you using?
Let's break it down, because this is important, folks. Sometimes he can't put something out just because his standards are so high. And I go, you know what? We're going to be a half-inch lower than you, and I got to put this out. This is important. You know, and so some of the stuff we put out, he's like, yeah, it's overall really good, but you know, I'd put that out if we could actually find a clean source of this. And I'm just like, clean? Your stuff's cleaner than the air, man. I'm just being honest about Group. That's how good he is. He's over there smiling. You know, we've had these arguments, believe me. So the point is, I kept saying, like a year ago, I go, I'm going to come out with a probiotic I can private label that's good. This is a huge market. I'm already taking probiotics. I'm sure yours is going to be the best, but I really want a probiotic. He finally did it. He finally did it. Biome defense. Why is this the best? You were getting into the fact that it doesn't have all this garbage filler in it, and why it's such a game changer at InfoWarsLife.com.
Right. So it's an interesting story because it took such a long time to try to convince. First of all, 3 of the big companies that produce the probiotics basically laughed in my face and hung up the phone. I had to convince, one of them was actually interested in listening to me, and I actually talked to their main scientist. And after months of collaboration, I'm telling him that I want the strongest probiotic out there. I want these unique strains in it. I want it cultured in vegetarian, vegan. I don't want it cultured in gelatin from cows from slaughterhouses. They basically had to change their whole procedure. I had to guarantee them that I was going to purchase enough so they could actually do the R&D.
And again, you don't want to grow this in gelatin that's bone and cartilage material, because that's where the prion top garbage is, and that's why neurological disorders. I mean, I know so many people who have 30, 40-year-old members of their family that are now having, quote, Parkinson's. And it's because, let's just be honest about it, mad cow type spectrum garbage is everywhere, people. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, most people have no clue how probiotics are made or how they're cultured. And I got deep into the research and development on this. They basically thought I was crazy. The president of the company got on the phone with me and they said, do you understand what you're doing? You're like changing this whole field. And I said, this is the way the field's going to go anyway. Either you're with me or you're without me. I'll find a way to do it anyway. So finally, we had to go through probably a couple years of research and development.
And by the way, let's toot your horn, but you also been going to Germany and going to France and going to other places. This is where it's already going in the high-tech clinics. You get it by prescription. It's already basically gone to what we're doing, but to the general public. And I even forgot that. I mean, the reality of this is 10 times cooler than I'm even saying. I mean, when we say 7 years, you've been doing this for 2 years before you were working with us. I mean, you've finally done it. Go ahead.
Yes, exactly. And it's still to this day, we are the only ones in the world right now that have this unique technique. I mean, they also say, are you crazy? This thing's going to be so expensive. No one's ever asked for this quality and this many strains in one probiotic formula before. So long story short, we actually got it done. We got it done using certified organic ingredients. All the other probiotics out there are filled with silicon dioxide, GMO, by the way, maltodextrin. And now we have proof that genetically modified foods actually change the flora in your gut to produce glyphosate. Well, what is glyphosate? Glyphosate is a pesticide. What do pesticides do? They kill off organisms.